This video on FPL TV is very proudly sponsored by OneFootball. With a rating of 4.8 out of 5 from now over 100,000 reviews on the App Store, OneFootball truly is the biggest and best app for football news, scores and stats from hundreds of leagues all over the world. As for FPL, you can choose to follow every team in the Premier League on OneFootball and then get live updates from all the goals and assists every game week. Download it now completely free using the link in the description box below. Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. It's a very quick turnaround in game weeks this week with just a day and a half between the game week deadlines. So with that, let's run through a very quick summary of how things went in game week 24 before then quickly discussing my team for Saturday's game week 25 deadline. It wasn't a great start to life back in my side for my transfer in Lucadinha, who brought home very similar returns to what he did for me at the start of the season, just a single point on his return. In fairness, it was still a fairly promising performance, at least attacking-wise, where impressively, Lucadinha had more penalty area touches than any other Aston Villa player with 5, the joint highest of the game week amongst defenders. He also took 3 corners, so is holding on to those set pieces. I think what summed up my game week 24 best wasn't so much about how many points my team picked up, but rather where the points came from, because the only players that returned for me last week were those that were some of the highest owned assets in the game, all of which are the typical template players in Cancelo, Trent, Bowen and Jota. In what was a head-scratching game week for the captaincy last week, all 4 of these were strong considerations for me to take the armband, and that's certainly a positive considering all 4 returned. But of course, on the other hand, with players such as this, it's very hard to improve your ranking when everyone benefits from their points. About the only positive of the game week was that I did ultimately end up captaining Jota, and he picked up his biggest haul of the season with 2 goals against Leicester. Initially, the captaincy was closer to either Ronaldo or Bowen for me last week, but notably that was before seeing how the FA Cup fixtures played out over the weekend. With Leicester then shipping 4 goals to Nottingham Forest, after much deliberation that edged me towards Jota, especially after Ronaldo played a gruelling 120 minutes in his game and missed a penalty against Middlesbrough. Thankfully that decision did pay off, and Jota's 16-pointer completely salvaged what was a very poor game week elsewhere. Aside from my captain, any other player that could have improved my ranking last week all failed to do so, with the likes of Antonio, Dennis and Rafinha all blanking once again. All 3 are out of form at the moment, with 0 goals between them in their last 4 Premier League games. And when I pair that with the 3 United assets, Bruno, Ronaldo and De Gea, who all disappointed against Burnley, there's a lot of players in this squad that I'd certainly like to be rid of soon. For this reason, the urge to wildcard this squad soon does look a very real possibility in the near future. But I won't be using it this week, with me being pretty well set up for double game week 25, with United now set to play twice. The plan now is to give them this double game week 25 and then look to potentially wildcard in game week 26 to attack the other upcoming double and blank game weeks. So for game week 24, my team finished on a score of 68, all thanks to that Jota captaincy which single-handedly salvaged my game week. Surprisingly, despite a 32-point haul from my captain, and with that a very decent score of 68, it wasn't enough to secure a green arrow, dropping a small 5,000 places from 43k to 48k. And I think that's reflective of what I said earlier, that so many popular, highly owned and highly captained players returned last week, and in particular, I think it was De Bruyne's double-digit haul that really made the difference. So let's move on to double game week 25 now, and look at my transfer plans as well as my team lineup. Also, if you do enjoy the content here at FPL TV, then please be sure to leave a like and most importantly get subscribed. You can also hit the notification bell so you always know when a new video goes live. I've got 2 free transfers available this week, and with Rudiger still in my squad with 2 more blanks in the next 3 game weeks for Chelsea, he's set to make way before the deadline. As mentioned last week, with Brighton also having a double game week in 25, it's Cucurella who will take Rudiger's place in my squad. Initially, that was set to be my only free transfer this week, and the plan was to roll the other. However, if I really am set on utilising that wildcard in game week 26, then in that case, there wouldn't be any sense in carrying over a free transfer this week. This therefore allows me to basically take a complete 1-week punt this game week, and I'm going to take a chance on another Brighton double game week player in Neil Maupay, and he'll come in for Watford's Dennis. So that's my 2 free transfers this week, and the plan now is to wildcard in game week 26, get Mo Salah back, and also target the other double game week fixtures for Arsenal, Tottenham, etc., and set my team up to really attack those doubles and get rid of the deadwood in my side. Let's now see how the side lines up for Game Week 25. Following these two transfers, I'm now heading into double Game Week 25 fairly well set up, with my triple up of United players facing back-to-back home fixtures. Of course, a double game week doesn't ensure points, especially in the form United have been in lately, but it's enough for me to keep the likes of Fernandes and Ronaldo for another game week, which will likely be their last game week in my side. Rafinha and Antonio have too been underwhelming in recent weeks, but I wasn't convinced this was the game week to get rid of them, as I quite like both their fixtures this game week. Antonio faces Leicester, who have been extremely poor defensively of late, whilst Rafinha's opponents Everton just shipped 3 goals to Newcastle. Transferring Rafinha to Coutinho was certainly a strong consideration this week, but I'll give Rafinha one more chance in what will hopefully be an open attacking game, before he then likely makes way on the wildcard next week too. Having made these transfers of Cucurella and Mope, I've regretfully now had to leave Lucadinha as first spot on my bench. Of course, it'd be a big shame to see him rack up a decent score while stuck on my bench now, but on the other hand, at least I've now got a very solid backup should Man City's Cancelo get a very rare rest against Norwich. Man City have a crucial Champions League fixture just a few days after playing Norwich, so it's not implausible that one of City's most important players, Cancelo, gets a well-deserved rest this weekend. It's unlikely, but Digne now provides good insurance should that happen. For the captaincy this week, although United's performances have left much to be desired, I'm still going to play the odds here and captain a player with 2 fixtures over 1, and considering I very sadly won't have Mo Salah in my side for this game week against Burnley, it therefore makes captaining a United player all the more easier. For me, it was always going to be between Fernandes and Ronaldo, but it's a big coin flip on which one to go for. Based on current performances and form, Bruno no doubt looks to be the safer and more sensible choice. But despite how poor Ronaldo's looked lately, I still find myself being drawn to him. The reason for this is that within the top 10k in FPL, Ronaldo is a lot less owned than Bruno is, and for that reason, captaining Ronaldo is an excellent way for me to chase that upside. Notably, Ronaldo was rested in the previous game too, giving me a bit more confidence that he hopefully plays both of these games. And because of this, arguably, when Ronaldo is on the field, that does then decrease the appeal of Fernandes slightly. Despite this lengthy goal drought for Ronaldo, statistically, he's still having a lot more penalty area touches and shots than Fernandes too, and with the likes of Pogba and Luke Shaw now back in the side as well, hopefully that can finally help Ronaldo break his duck this game week. Does Ronaldo's current form warrant a captaincy? Probably not, but ultimately it's a double game week with 2 home fixtures for one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, and considering he'll still be a differential even with all that, this may be too good of an opportunity to pass up chasing that top 10k, regardless of how bad it may go. So that's how my team will look for Game Week 25. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if so, don't forget to get subscribed. Good luck to you all for the upcoming game week, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all very soon.